Hello, my name is Trina Parham, dating coach and author of The Curvy Girl's Guide to Dating: How to Live Fierce and Finally Meet Mr. Right. You can find me online at www.succulentwomenfindlove.com. And today's topic is all about overanalyzing male behavior in order to find a relationship. Now, as a dating coach, I am always on Twitter and Facebook, listening in on conversations about dating. I follow lots of blogs. I also read lots of books about dating and relationships, not only for my own growth and just personal knowledge, but for the work that I do with clients and just to see what's out there. I like to keep abreast of the conversation. And one of the topics that seems to come up a lot lately is this idea that women somehow need to understand men better. Well, let me just put that myth to rest right now. So, the only person you need to be worried about understanding is yourself. That's the number one person you need to be worried about. So, there's all this conversation about how women don't get men, and somehow we are supposed to think that if you learn all this information about men and what makes them tick and the way they see women and what they find attractive and on and on and on, all these things, that's somehow going to empower you to get into the kind of relationship that you want. Well, I'm here to tell you that is absolutely not the case. I would encourage you to go out and ask any 10 women who are married, who have been healthily and happily married, let's say for the past 5-10 years, and ask them how much they understood, how much they knew about male behavior before they got married. That's all I would want you to do. Start with that. So one of the things that we need to understand is that men do a lot of things that we just don't get. Men and women are different. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, when women are single and they don't want to be, there's this attempt to go out and gather as much information as you can to figure out what's wrong with you, what's happening. Well, the truth of the matter is there's nothing wrong with you. But in terms of understanding men, you know what? Everything that we read shows us the male perspective. You wake up, you read a magazine, you watch the news. Most of this is based on the male perspective. So how much more of the male perspective do we need? Most of the movies, most of the music are led by men. So tell me, I need to know how much more they think we actually need to understand. I understand plenty. You understand plenty. So the important thing is when you're out there dating, not that you need to gather all this intel about the man that you're dating and what's going to make him tick and, what's going to make him stay or go or, any of those things. That's not what you need to focus on. The focus needs to be on a couple of things. Number one, showing up and being your most authentic, genuine self. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't want to look attractive. Obviously, you want to look your best. If you're going on a first date, you want to present the best of who you are. But that best of who you are is different for every woman. And what you'll discover as you're out there dating is that, some men like curvy girls, some men don't. Some men like tall women, some men don't. And you're going to have to get in where you fit in. Not every man is going to like you. Not every man is going to find you attractive. But know that there are some men who are right in your sweet spot who are going to find you to be just right for them. So that's where you start. That should be your focus. Showing up and being as authentic as you can be. Now, as far as men are concerned, there are a couple of things that that we can focus in on. But the main thing that you need to know is he showing up for you? So when you first meet somebody and you go on a first date, if you had a really good time, did he call you after the first date to follow up to schedule a second date? That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Did he show up and did he follow through? And if he does call, what you need to know moving forward is everything is date to date, call to call, and email to email until a commitment is made. And so a lot of times I think where women get caught up is, and overanalyzing male behavior is, if he doesn't follow through. So say, for example, you've gone on a first date and you haven't heard from him in 4 days. And so what you find yourself doing is talking to your friends and you're turning over in your mind and in conversation every little word that he spoke at your date, instead of just looking at his behavior and seeing what's actually taken place. Did he show up? Did he call you? Did he follow up or not? All of this can be very simple, but sometimes what we as women do, we get really excited about a guy, especially if you've been in a dating desert for a long time, or you've been in a drought and you haven't dated a really great guy in, let's say, 3 or 5 years, or whatever the time frame is. Let's say it's been a long time. And when you finally meet a great guy, you go on a date with him, you're really excited, and you're already putting your first name with his last name, and he hasn't even called you back for another date. That's what needs to stop, ladies. Just stop it right there. So let his behavior be an indication of what you need to understand about him. So you don't need to, think about his psyche and how he thinks and what he understands about women. You don't need to worry about any of that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about two grown-ups coming together who are trying to decide whether or not they want to build a life together. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So if you want to understand somebody, understand yourself and expect him to show up for you. So again, you can find me online at www.succulentwomenfindlove.com. And I hope you found this tip to be helpful. I really enjoyed sharing it with you. Thank you.